Welcome to the County Connection Show. I'm Scott Vargo, your host, and I'm joined by Karin Stiegelmeyer and Thomas Davidson, two of your three county commissioners. Dan Gibbs is not able to join us as he's in the midst of his re-election campaign and isn't able to participate, unfortunately, in our shows until post-election day. So we want to start off today with some information about Montezuma and Montezuma Bridge. We talked in previous episodes about the road being washed out, and so who wants to talk about the bridge being placed?
Well, it was placed just this last weekend, and we didn't get to see it, but we heard the account from Thad Knoll, who's been working on this intensively since the road washed out, the bridge washed out on June 3rd. And he said the bridge had to come in 8 different pieces and be placed by the crane piece by piece. But it's done. And the pavement overlays will continue for another week off and on until it's absolutely completed. Mm-hmm. But it is in place, so success after a disaster.
I think that it's great that everybody cooperated so much on this, especially thanks to the people of Montezuma who were very understanding throughout this entire process. A big shout out to Jackson County that loaned us a temporary bridge so that those people could get in and out of there. So big shout out to Jackson County. And I guess the EPA should get some recognition because lo and behold, they showed up with about, $180,000 worth of work to get this thing done and in place so that they could complete a project up there. So, it turned out about as good as something as bad as this can turn out, I guess.
Good. Another successful program that the county has been operating this summer as well as the chipper program. So who wants to explain a little bit about what that program is and then what it did or how it's worked out?
Well, kudos to the Community Wildfire Council and Dan, both Dans.
That's right.
Dan Schroeder as well as Dan Gibbs for putting this thing together. And we simply said, okay, we're going to go on tour in Summit County with a chipper and encourage everybody to get all that stuff away from your homes and improve the, what do we call it, the fire mitigation capability of your place. And wow, y'all took advantage of this one. This has been a great success, I think, from everything that we've heard from Extension and Dan. And so
I think it's making its second trip through
That's
Breckenridge.
Right. Yeah, so if you didn't get your stuff out there the first round, or if you have another round, we're beginning the second round. And if you're wondering, you can just go on the county website and search chipper program or chipping, and you will get directed to the documents that have neighborhood by neighborhood when they will be coming around your neighborhood again. So you have a second chance.
Yeah.
I think the turnout was so high within the Breckenridge area during the start off of the program that they had to up the number of folks that were running around with the chipper to make sure they could collect all of the wood waste that was there.
Well, and we should say thank you to the voters of Summit County because we couldn't do this without the funding that you voted into place back in 2008. So this is a result of that program. And I think we're probably going to do this again in a couple of years, right? I mean, this was, we felt like, we were going to kind of move the needle with this one, so.
Yep.
We did get a matching grant from the Division of Natural Resources, and so the state is looking at this too as a wild success, and so we likely will be asking for that grant again next year. The state is seeing this as a model that could be put in place in other parts of the state, and it is wildly successful beyond our wildest dreams.
Yeah.
And thank you to the community for participating, for really getting out and participating in this easy way to reduce your fire risk.
Yep. And I think that Summit County, with the wildfire protection plan that we've got and a number of the other measures and activities that we've undertaken, that sets us up to be highly qualified for a lot of these grant opportunities that show up. And so again, great work to everybody in the community for putting in their efforts to get the wood out there and to make it successful. So great. All right, the last item that we wanted to talk about in this first segment of the show is St. John's and an open space purchase and some cleanup activities that are going on there, Karen.
Well, this is back in the same busy area, Montezuma area, and Peru Creek takes off from right beyond the bridge repair, and we've had big programs ongoing there with the APA now in place and doing some significant work to divert water away from the mining tailings and improve the water quality. Also, right out of the town of Montezuma is St. John, and that was at one time the largest town in Summit County.
Get out.
In 1870, there were 71 people living there. So we were really excited that we were able to piece together 19 different parcels in one open space purchase. And so that entire spectacular valley is protected into the future. Before that could happen, we had to do some mining cleanup because of the historic mining. And we had some assistance from Climax and the state to get the mining tailings cleaned up and some of them removed before we were willing to take it on as open space property. But it's a huge win for our community to have this entire valley now protected. It's highly touted for the wildlife habitat, including lynx, and it's just a spectacular summer and winter recreation area.
Yeah. Well, the thing that's nice about this one is finding a creative way to deal with trying to do some of the water quality cleanup, right? Because those are typically so expensive to undertake, and we kind of figured out how to do this one without it costing an arm and a leg. In the future, it's going to cost a lot more to take some of these projects on. So
we still have many of those toxic, historic, polluted sites in Summit County that will need ongoing work.
Right, right. And I'd always thought of St. John as a suburb of Montezuma. I never knew that it was bigger at one time. So you learn something new every day.
The greater metroplex.
Exactly, the greater metropolitan area.
And there are some historic buildings there that will also be preserved.
Yeah.
So that's another challenge for our open space department to figure out exactly how to move forward with those buildings.
Right.
Good. All right, we'll take a break. We'll come back. We'll talk some more about water issues in particular. So stick around.